Hi, this is Chris, and we are taking a look at questions 5 through 7 here in section 3 of SAT Practice Test 4. So for question 5, they want to know which of the following is equivalent to the expression above. So they want us to simplify this, and we're going to have to FOIL these two parentheses and then distribute the 3. You could distribute the 3 first if you prefer. I prefer doing it at the end. The order doesn't matter on this since it's all multiplication. So if we go to FOIL these, we do our first terms. So I'll write it out over here, but we'll have 2x times 4x, which would give us 8x squared. Our outside terms, 2x times 1, give us a positive 2x. Our inside terms, 1 times 4x, gives us a positive 4x. And our last terms, positive 1 times 1, gives us 1. So remember, we have this, but we haven't lost our 3 out front, so don't forget to transfer that into the next step of the question. So here we're going to have 3 times, if we combine like terms, the 2x and the 4x, we can rewrite this as 8x squared plus 6x plus 1. And now we can distribute in our 3 to each term. That would give us 24x squared plus 18x plus 3, and that matches answer choice C here on number 5. Now let's take a look at number 6. So here we're given a proportion. Anytime you see two fractions equal to each other, it's really helpful to have this as your automatic response. You want to go ahead and cross multiply. So here, if we cross multiply, we'll have 7 times a minus b equals 3 times b. And we can distribute that 7 and combine like terms. So we get 7a minus 7b equals 3b. If we add 7b to the other side, we get 7a equals 10b. Now we could try to rearrange this and see what we could simplify, but since all of our answer choices here have everything in terms of a and b as well, let's just see if we could rearrange an answer choice to look similar to this relationship. So here, if we make this a little smaller, kind of move it over, then let's start checking each of these answer choices. So we got a 7a equals 10b. So for a, if we cross multiply, we have 7 times a equals negative 4 times b. So this would be 7a equals negative 4b. And obviously, if it's supposed to be equal to 10b, well, negative 4 is different, so it can't be answer choice A for this. Let's try B. 7a equals 10b. And hey, look at that. That's exactly what we were supposed to get. So that's going to be our answer. Let me write this a little neater, but that's 7a equals 10b. And our correct answer to number 6 is answer choice B. If we wanted to see why it doesn't work for C and D, just out of curiosity, I'll write those out just so you can see the math on that. So here this would be 7 times a plus b equals 10b. And when we distribute, we get 7a plus 7b equals 10b. And if we, let me put the 7 in there. And if we subtract 7b from both sides, we get 7a equals 3b. So similar to answer choice A, that can't be correct. It was supposed to be equal to 10b, like we saw in the original expression. So it can't be answer choice C. And then for answer choice D, if we cross multiply here, we get 7a, well, here I'll write it out in 2 steps, 7 times a minus 2b. And then equals, this will be negative 11 times b, or negative 11b. And when we distribute, we get 7a minus 14b equals negative 11b. Add the 14b to both sides, we get 7a equals 3b, just like we did in answer choice C. So it can't be D either. So that's the math for all of those, but on test day, in a perfect world, we would want to stop our work here. We've already found the equivalent expression. We can confidently pick B and move on. And as we move on, we're going to take a look now at question 7. Here it says, while preparing to run a marathon, Amelia created a training schedule in which the distance of her longest run every week increased by a constant amount. If Amelia's training schedule requires that her longest run in week 4 is a distance of 8 miles, so at week 4 she's at 8 miles, and her longest run in week 16 is a distance of 26 miles, which of the following best describes how the distance Amelia runs changes between week 4 and week 16 of her training schedule? And if you look at your answer choices, most of your answer choices are talking about this change in number of miles per week, or answer choice C phrases it as every 3 weeks, but all of those are indicative of a slope. We're trying to figure out what this rate of change was. So if they give you units of miles per week or miles each week, let's see if we can figure that out using these as if they are coordinates. So we can treat these like our x's and our y's, the same way we would normally solve for slope. So here, you have 26 miles minus your original 8 miles. So that's like y2 minus y1 over. And then your weeks, that was 16 weeks minus your original week 4. So that's going to be your miles each week. And this comes out to 26 minus 8, which is 18. 16 minus 4, which is 12. So it's 18 over 12. Let's see if we can reduce that. That would be 3 over 2. And 3 over 2, which they show it as a decimal, 3 over 2 is equal to 1.5. That's 1.5 miles per week, or miles each week of improvement. So this is her rate of change. She's increasing her distance 1.5 miles each week, and that